Hey everyone, I'm Princess Link, and welcome back to Metal Gear Solid. Chapter 14. The elevator opened on the first basement level, and Snake immediately heard voices. He held the doors open with his foot, carefully peered into the hallway, and saw the backs of two guards turn a corner and disappear. He slipped out, let the doors close, and glanced at the surveillance camera he'd destroyed earlier. Either they hadn't noticed it was out of order, or they were ignoring it. Hugging the wall, he moved to the corner and watched the two guards pass through a doorway. Creeping as silently as possible, he went to the door and saw that the lock was marked with the number 5. Snake smiled. He took the level 5 pan card Otacon had given him, swiped it, and opened the door. The room was full of computer terminals. Can't read. The two guards still had their backs to him. One of them sat at a terminal and was busy punching the keyboard. The others stood idly by, watching. Both guards wore the standard green uniforms with head coverings. Time once again for the Snake Stranglehold. Snake moved slowly and stealthily to the guard who was standing. Suddenly, though, the soldier moved and walked to the other side of the room, with a wiggle in the rear end. As Snake watched the guard more carefully, he could see a decidedly thinner and curvier posterior underneath the trousers. He wanted to laugh, but thought it best to take care of the other guards first. He quickly walked up behind the guard at the terminal, wrapped his arms around the man's neck, and strangled him to death. Wonderful. Meryl, or the guard he thought was Meryl, turned to see what was happening and gasped. She ran for the door before Snake could call out, "Wait!" Snake let the dead man fall to the floor and chased the feminine soldier out of the room and down the hall. She turned a corner, rushed to a door marked "Woman," and went inside. "Hey!" a man's voice called behind him. Snake turned to see another soldier at the far end of the hall, with reflexes that rivaled those of his namesake, David. And we were talking about David from the Bible, right? David. I'm kidding. Snake drew the SOCOM and fired at the man. The shot reverberated in the hallway, surely loud enough to attract more troopers. To head them off, Snake ran toward the fallen man, hugged the corner, and fitted the SOCOM with the suppressor. As he'd predicted, he heard the sound of running boots a few seconds later. He lunged sideways, landed prone beside the dead soldier, and fired at the 3 men coming at him, all using the corpse as cover. 3 shots, 3 cadavers. Wonderful. Snake decided to take a small amount of time to track the bodies into an open office. He did so, shut the door, and rushed to the first guard he'd shot. There was a grouping of potted plants in a corner of the hallway, so Snake picked up the corpse and deposited it behind the pots. Not great, but it would do. He then rushed back to the women's washroom and pushed open the door. Meryl Silverberg stood in front of him with a FAMAS aimed at his head. What surprised Snake more than that was the fact that she'd stripped off her uniform and was dressed only in a bra and panties. Did she not wear a bra, though? She, doesn't wear a bra, right? The sight nearly took his breath away. "Don't move," she spat. Snake froze and then slowly raised his hands. "Take it easy." "That's not why I'm aiming this at you." "And why are you?" "Because men aren't allowed in here, pervert." She held his stance for a couple more seconds, then laughed. She put down her weapon and said, "That's the second time I've had to jump on the legendary Solid Snake." You know there's no way you can pass as a man for long. I had no idea you were so feminine. This is no time to try and hit on me, Snake. You're the one in your underwear. She laughed. Besides, it's a waste of time. When I joined up, they gave me psychotherapy to destroy my interest in men. If you say so. What's the matter? Are you hurt? No. What happened a while ago, when you stopped transmitting? Oh, there were a bunch of guys. I had to blend in, so to speak. She opened the stall and picked up some clothes that were lying on the floor. The trousers were military issue, and the black tank top was most likely from a high-end fashion shop. As she started to put them on, Snake asked, "Why are you changing? You'd be a lot better off disguised as one of them." "I'm tired of that." She slipped the tank top over her head. The truth is, the uniform smelled like blood. For the first time, he saw the foxhound tattoo on her left arm. Hey, he pointed. What's that? Oh, this? It's not a real tattoo. It's painted. I've been a fan of Foxhound from way back, when guys like you and my uncle were in it. None of the gene therapy bullshit like there is today. You guys were real heroes. There are no heroes anymore. All the heroes I know are either dead or in prison. One or the other. Snake, you're a hero, aren't you? I'm just a man who's good at what he does. Kill him. There's no winning or losing for a mercenary. The only winners and more are the people, if they're on the winning side. Yeah, right. So you fight for the people. I've never fought for anyone but myself. I've got no purpose in life, no ultimate goal. Oh, come on. He moved away from her, stood over the sink, and examined his scarred face in the mirror. As he adjusted his bandana, he continued, It's only when I'm cheating death on the battlefield. That's the only time I feel truly alive. Now dressed, Mel leaned back against the wall and pulled on boots, 1 foot at a time. Seeing other people die makes you feel alive, huh? You love war and don't want it to stop. Is it the same with all great soldiers throughout history? He was annoyed at the direction the conversation was taking. Why didn't you stay where I told you? She shrugged. You could use my help. How do you recognize me in disguise? I never forget. A lady. So there's something about me you like? Yeah, you've got a great ass. David, oh my god. She raised her eyebrows. Ass? Oh, I see. First it's my eyes, and now it's my ass. What's next? On the battlefield, you never think about what's next. She made a face and then jumped on the counter to sit. So, how are things going? Is the president going to give in to their demands? Not if I can help it. It's all up to you, is it? Somebody's got to stop them from launching a nuclear missile. You know, there are 2 ways. Either we destroy Metal Gear, or we override the detonation code. I know. You got the card key from Baker? Yeah. I still don't understand why he told me there were 3 of them. This is all he gave me. Where could the other 2 be? Hey, if we don't find them, then we'll have no choice but to destroy Metal Gear. Snake took a sip of water from his canteen and handed it to Mel. She chugged it longer than he wished. I'm going on. I heard Rex is in an underground maintenance space to the north of here. She gave him back the canteen. Take me too. I know this place better than you. You'll just slow me down. You don't have enough battle experience. One person's blunder could have compromised the entire mission. I won't slow you down, I promise. And what if you do? Then you can shoot me. She sounded almost serious. He shook his head. I don't like to waste bullets. Look, the overland way is blocked by glaciers. I know a secret way to get there. You do? Uh-huh. Snake pounded his right fist into his left palm. Damn it! I don't suppose you can just tell me about that secret way. Nope. He pointed a finger at her. You stay by me. Don't do anything stupid. You follow my orders. Got it. I'll be careful. She saluted him, smirked, and went to the disguised clothing where she'd left her weapon. As she pressed the mirror, she stopped and examined a blemish on her cheek. You know, I don't use makeup the way other women do. I hardly ever look at myself in the mirror. I always dreamed of being a soldier. No, that's not right. It wasn't really my dream. My father, he was killed in action when I was young. I'm not like other girls. It's just like, I just saw that scene, and it was just like, wow, Mel, you sure aren't like other girls. Please stop talking. Like, can you stop talking about this now? What is even the point of that? You wanted to follow in your father's footsteps? Not really. I thought if I became a soldier, then I could understand better. So, are you a soldier yet? Snake noticed that the young woman had dropped her bravado. Whether it was intentional, he wasn't sure. I thought I was until today, but now I understand. The truth is, I was just afraid of looking at myself. Afraid of having to make my own decisions in life. But I'm not going to lie to myself anymore. It's time I took a long, hard look at myself. She picked up a light handgun and a holster belt. As she strapped it around her waist, she continued, I want to know who I am. What I'm capable of. I want to know why I've lived the way I've lived until now. I want to know... Sheesh, the girl really is a teenager. Perv! David, stop hitting on her then. Like, why? Hurry up, we need to go. She grimaced at him and exhaled. Yeah, this isn't a training exercise. Our lives are riding on this. There are no heroes or heroines. If you lose your warrior, he picked up the fence. Is this functional? Unfortunately, it's out of ammo. You pointed that at me and there are no bullets in it. She grinned and raised her eyebrows again. There's a pile of grenades on the floor as well. What do you have there? Flashbang grenades? Frag grenades? Yeah. Can I have some? Take what you want. He stuck a couple of each in his pouch and then gestured to the handgun at her waist. Where'd you get that Desert Eagle? Found it in the armory. It's a .50 caliber Action Express. She acknowledged his weapon and added, There was a SOCOM too, but I chose this. Isn't that a gun a little big for a girl? Don't worry, I can handle it. You can use... She interrupted him by drawing the Desert Eagle quickly, removing the magazine, snapping it back in and racking the slide with a smooth, professional finesse. Listen, I've used a gun like this since I was 8 years old. I'm more comfortable with it than I am with a bra. She was ready. Come on, if we're gonna go north, we'll have to go through the commander's room on this floor. My level 5 pan card will open the door. I've got one now, too. There was one more piece of equipment on the floor. She picked it up and slung it over her shoulder. Whoa! Snake said. A PSG-1! What a fine piece of weaponry! Where'd you get it? I stole it from a guide when he set it down and wasn't looking. I figured you never know when a sniper rifle might come in handy. It's probably the most accurate semi-automatic rifle in the world. You've got experience with that? Uh-huh. And I have plenty of ammo, too. She tossed him a box of cartridges. Hold on to these for me, will ya? I've been out of room in my pack. I'm loaded down, too, but I'll take them. He opened the bathroom door, looked out and said, Coast is clear. She pushed past him. I'll lead the way to the commander's room. Snake hoped he wouldn't regret it, but he followed her. He noted, though, that she was adept at moving with stealth. She hugged the walls, traveled lightly on her feet, and kept to the shadows. Perhaps it wouldn't be so bad, after all. They passed the office where Snake had found the Nikita. He paused to listen at the door, was satisfied the room hadn't been disturbed since he'd left it, and moved on. Meryl took a turn, and they entered a long corridor that led to a single door at the end. The hall was lined with paintings, and the floor was carpeted. They obviously were entering a portion of the complex that was occupied by upper management. That's funny. There's no guide, she said, indicating the door at the end. That's the commander's room? Yeah. I've got a bad feeling about this. I feel 5. Good kind of. Read it, the in between. Leave me alone. I love Backstroker the West. Earlier I made a hell of a lot of noise in this floor. I don't understand why there aren't more troopers. Maybe they're busy fighting up all the other mercenaries trying to get on the Shadow Moses Island action. You're not funny. She shrugged and whispered. You are. She pushed the door and listened. It's quiet in there. With the pan card in hand, she started to swipe it on the lock, but she dropped it on the carpet and held both hands to her head. Ow! What's wrong? My head. Ooh, it hurts. She dropped to her knees. Snake decided to go to her, but she snapped, Don't touch me! Don't come here! Snake didn't know what to do. She was obviously in a great deal of pain. Was she having a heart attack like Victor and Anderson? Anderson, I have to say my poem. No, this was just her head. It was something else. Then, just as quickly as had begun, Meryl's severe headache went away. God, I wish that were me. Ugh. I get like really bad headaches. And they're like just there. They don't go away ever. I mean, like, if I don't drink coffee, I get a headache, and that's not fun. She shook her hair, wiped her forehead, picked up the pan card, and then said, I'm fine now, she said flatly. What happened? I said I'm fine. She stared straight ahead at the door and mechanically swiped the card. Come on, Mr. Foxhound, the commander's waiting. She opened the door and stepped inside. Snake was bewildered by her sudden change in demeanor. Then he remembered that he, too, had been struck with a severe headache that had lasted a few seconds and then subsided. As he entered the room, Snake felt a strange disturbance in the place, as if it gave off an ominous vibe. The commander's room looked more like the library of a country manor than an office. It was opulently furnished with an antique mahogany desk, a sofa, 3 comfy chairs, and shelves lined with books. More paintings adorned the walls, and several busts and urns sat on marble pedestals. The busts were distinguished in that they were covered by black leather S&M bondage masks and gear. How would you know about that, David? I'm pretty sure the author, Raymond Benson, is trying to imply that Dave's into some really kinky shit. Oh my god. weird. A holographic reproduction of the Shadow Moses facility sat on a large table at the side of the room. Snake moved to it so that he could study the layout. It was an impressive structure with its 2 communication towers standing like sentinels at the northern end of the base. Meryl stood by the door. She hadn't moved. She watched him curiously and then made the door shut and locked behind her. Then she drew the Desert Eagle, pointed it at Snake, and began to advance to him. Snake, do you like me? She prayed. He looked up. Meryl, what the hell? Do you like me? She came closer, batted her eyes, and moved her body in a way that accentuated her curves. For a split second, Snake was certain that someone else was behind Meryl, but he blinked and the apparition was gone. What's wrong with you? He asked. Me at straight people. Me at straight people, man. Breathing heavily, she said, Snake, hold me. She was now very close, but the Desert Eagle still pointed at his face. Should he risk disarming her? Yeah, Dave's into some pretty kinky shit, but not that. Meryl, stop that! Make love to me, Snake, hurry! Her breathing increased as if she were in a kind of sexual frenzy. The image of a figure floating a few feet above the carpeted floor flashed behind Meryl again. This time Snake knew that something bad was happening. Snake, I want you! Again the floating figure. They had gone in an instant. Who are you? Snake yelled. What's wrong? Meryl asked. With a come hither voice. Don't you like girls? Snake had no choice. He pulled back his arm and slugged Meryl in the jaw as hard as he could. She didn't have time to cry out. She plummeted into the floor, dropping the gun and losing consciousness. Sorry, Meryl, he said. And then the figure appeared and remained in view. Still floating 3 feet above the floor, the man looked like something from another world. He was dressed in a skin-tight uniform that resembled the leather bondage costumes worn by S&M sexual slaves. Even more bizarre was the gas mask helmet that covered his head. Psycho Mantis. Oh, jeez. Useless woman, he said with a high, shrill voice. That was not even a Russian accent. It hurt Snake's ears to listen to the man. You! Snake shouted. You were the one manipulating her! Oh, Jesus. Of course I am, you idiotic buffoon. I am beyond your pitiful intellect. I think that's much. I would make you break down and cry like a baby. Oh, smoke and mirrors all bad. Just like that epic camouflage you have on. I hope that's not your only trick. You doubt my power? Now I will show you I am the most powerful practitioner of psychokinesis and telepathy in the world. What about Jean Grey? I can read your every thought and anticipate your every move. The terrorist laughed and said, You like the girl, don't you, Snake? Even though that goes against what your head is telling you to do, your heart is falling for her, isn't that right? Nah, man, he's got a crush on her. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Oh, and let's see, you've made friends with Dr. Emmerich, but where is he now? I do believe he's making the acquaintance of a very beautiful woman at this moment. A seductive and frightening woman. You trying to make him jealous? PM. I just remember. I just called him PM randomly when I was playing it. The first time I played the game, and then I just started calling him PMS. It's normal. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I messed up really badly, and I could not beat Psycho Mantis, and I had to restart the entire game because I didn't get the freaking thermal goggles or whatever. So that was fun. Oh my god. Why don't you come down and fight like a man? Snake demanded, but his own headache was returning. It had the same intensity as the one he'd experienced earlier. Dr. Hunter said that it was due to Psycho Mantis and his mental weaponry. Snake tried to draw his SOCOM, but the thing was stuck in his holster. Someone had plastered it with cement. No, it's a hallucination! But try as he might, Snake was unable to pull the gun out of his holster. In fact, the grip was hot as fire. He had to release it and blow it on his hand. Psycho Mantis laughed maniacally. Having a little trouble with your armament, Snake? Is that Indian, or what kind of accent am I even doing? Snake retreated by moving behind the ornate desk. There had to be some kind of defense he could use against this thing. He grabbed the letter opener off the desk and flung it at Psycho Mantis, but the sharp instrument stopped spinning in midair and simply dropped it. Pitiful Snake, the man laughed. Can't you do better than that? Snake jumped onto the top of the desk and leaped at the floating man's legs in an attempt to pull him down onto the ground. But Psycho Mantis vanished, and Snake fell to the floor next to Meryl. He picked up a Desert Eagle, but it too was blazing hot. He had to drop it before the thing seared his hand. It's not really hot, it's an illusion! He tried to pick it up again, but the villain's power over Snake's perception was too strong. No matter how much he fought against the thought, the gun's grip was still too hot for him to touch. In fact, the metal glowed red, as if it had been sitting in a blast furnace. Damn you! Snake shouted, but Psycho Mantis merely laughed in a sickening way. Snake! The voice was familiar. He turned to see a lean, fit man in his 50s standing near the wall. He wore sunglasses that Snake knew all too well. Mr. Miller! Snake cried. How did you get here? No time to chat, Snake. We have to run and get away from this clown. Miller held out his hand to help his former trainee off the floor. Totally confused, Snake looked around the room. Psycho Mantis was nowhere to be seen. Meryl still lay on the floor, unconscious. When he made a move toward her, Miller said, Forget it, Snake. She'll only slow you down, just as you told her. But she's Campbell's niece. Forget it, soldier. That's an order. Resigned, Snake followed Master Miller out of the commander's room and into an amusement park. What the? Snake was completely overwhelmed by the sights and sounds and smells of a very familiar Midway. I've been here before. Recognize it, Snake? Miller asked. You used to come here when you were a kid. It was true. They were standing on the midway of Kitty Land. Not Medieval Land. Medieval Land Fun Time. Dang it, Eddie, don't ever call it a Renaissance. No. Dang it, Petey, don't ever call it a Renaissance. How do you feel about people who go Hadouken? Little bunny. My junk is numb. Get the Filipino employee back on that horse. Anyway. A small, privately owned theme park in a small town in Oregon where he'd lived the first 10 years of his life. He'd visited Kitty Land at least once a week during the summer months, when the place was always open. When he wasn't training. How did we get here? Master Miller, what the hell's going on? It took a great deal to frighten Snake, but at the moment he was filled with a trepidation the likes of which he hadn't felt in years. This isn't happening. But it seemed so real. It was night, and the park was full of people. Parents with their small children, teenagers running back and forth, parkers at their games and chants, and the rides, the wonderful rides. Snake had loved fast rides, especially the Mad Mouse roller coaster. There were no huge, modern, high-tech coasters at Kitty Land. The amusement park was old school. The rides consisted of traditional favorites such as the Tilt-A-Whirl, the Octopus, and the Zipper. Piped-in carnival music blasted through loudspeakers throughout the grounds, mixing with kids' joyful screams. Colorful lights brightened the place. The sensory overload made Snake feel 8 years old again. Why are we here? Yes, Master Miller. But his trainer was no longer by his side. In fact, Snake was entirely alone in the park. The crowds had vanished suddenly. The lights were extinguished and everything went dark. The music and happy sounds and screams continued to fill the air, but no one was around. It was as if he was standing in a ghost park. The rides and arcades were long closed down, but the spirits of ancient guests still played there under a night sky that was a blanket of deep, dark dread. Snake closed his eyes and tried to concentrate. It was one of Psycho Mantis's tricks, it had to be. But try as he might, Snake couldn't shake the powerful illusion. The only thing he could do was walk through the midway and look at this relic from his past. Near the end of the main track was the funhouse. He had always loved the funhouse. It wasn't particularly scary, but it contained all the usual trappings. Curved mirrors, slides, jack-in-the-box clowns that popped up when you least expected them, knocking floors, and a mirror maze. A woman was standing at the entrance. She had red hair and a nice... Meryl! She waved and beckoned him to come inside the funhouse. He wanted to shout and warn her not to go in. It had to be a trap. Besides, the park was closed. There was no one running the rides or taking tickets, but Snake couldn't get the words out of his mouth. It was similar to what happened in dreams in which your legs were too heavy to run, or your voice came out in a whisper. No, dude. In my dreams, I don't ever run. I just kind of, like, jump. Sometimes, like, jump. I move like just jumping. It's really weird. I have weird dreams in general. I once dreamed that I was watching Dave's dogs. He had 4 dogs, and I was watching them. He was right there. I don't know why I was watching them. And then I took one out for a walk. And then as soon as we came back inside, she peed on the floor, and I was like, why? I also had a dream that either I was hanging out with Dave and his dog, or I had a dog named David. I don't remember. It's like, you know what? You know what's most important about Solid Snake? His dogs. That's what I'm gonna dream about. Anyway, Meryl disappeared into the building, leaving Snake with no choice but to follow her. He bounded up the steps, went through the turnstile, and entered the dark, foreboding attraction. With the lights off, the place was much more sinister than usual, but the mechanisms were working, including the very first obstacle, a floor that rocked back and forth. The trick was to maintain your balance as you walked to the other side. Many kids would fall and slide on the tilting floor, often on purpose, laughing like crazy. Snake had always played by the rules and really tried to get across without failing. He never failed. Baby Dave! He's so cute! Sorry, I just... You know Dave was like a really... You know he was a quiet kid. He was like one of those really quiet kids. He just kind of hung out in the back of the classroom and read all the time. It's definitely not me or anything. I feel like he was also probably depressed though. Like, I don't know, I had canon that Dave was like really depressed as a teenager. This time, however, as soon as he'd stepped on the platform, it tilted so high that he couldn't help but fall and slide to the edge. He managed to break and stop his body from plummeting off the platform. But there used to be a wall there to stop kids from falling off, which emptied into a vast crevice of nothingness. In fact, there was a sky full of stars. It was as if Snake were holding on to the edge of the known universe. And if he let go, he'd be lost in the infinite chasm of outer space. Don't look. He forced himself to focus on the edge at the other side of the tilting platform, the one that led out of the room. Meryl was standing there waiting for him. She was pointing and laughing at him. That's a mood, honestly. Look at the legendary Solid Snake, she cackled. He can't even stand on his own 2 feet. Like, I mean, you know, sometimes you just gotta laugh at Dave. I mean, he had $50. It's like my favorite thing to make fun of. And for... But it's mostly because I'm jealous. I wish I could have 50 dogs. I don't even have 1 dog, okay? It's sad. It's really sad. My dad doesn't want to get it. My dad refuses to get a dog. I have a chihuahua. She's a butthead, and she doesn't like me. Ugh. Okay. There are grooves in the tilted wooden floor that were deep enough for Snake to grip with his fingertips. Using all the strength he could muster and ignoring the pain in his fingers, he slowly inched up the platform. It seemed to take forever, but after a few minutes he'd done it. He rolled off the tilted floor onto the metal mesh walkway by the edge. Meryl was no longer there. I feel like Raymond Benson once, Scarecrow segment from, Icom Scarecrow segment, but it's just not as good, man. Speaking of Scarecrow segment, I saw my dad play the first Scarecrow segment in Arkham Asylum when I was 8, and it traumatized me. Snake went through the arch and found himself in a room lined with curved mirrors. He remembered laughing at his body's funny shapes when he stood in front of the mirrors. One mirror made him short and fat, another tall and skinny with a big head, and one gave him a very wide torso, but with tiny legs and feet. This time, however, when Snake stepped up to the first mirror, he saw Meryl. She seemed to be trapped inside. There was an expression of terror on her face as she banged on her side of the mirror. "Help me, Snake. Get me out." Snake examined the sides of the mirror, but it was fastened vertically to the wall. There was nothing he could do. He moved along to the next mirror and saw Otacon in the same predicament. The young man was trembling with fear. "Snake, can you help me out of here?" Otacon shouted. "They're gonna kill me! Help me!" Feeling increasingly helpless, Snake moved on to the third mirror. Inside of it was the uniformed man he hadn't seen in many, many years. Unlike the other two prisoners, he stood silently, resigned to being trapped and knowing there was nothing that could be done about it. "Big Boss," Snake whispered. "Is that you?" The soldier smiled at him. "Yes, my son. Have you missed me?" Snake banged on the glass mirror, but it proved to be too strong to fake. "Why are you here? What's going on?" Son, they're gonna kill me unless you tell me the deactivation codes. But you're already dead." In fact, Snake had killed the man with his own hands, his own father, Big Boss. Yet here he was, alive and breathing. "Please, sons," he pleaded. Son. One son. Son boy. "Give me the codes. If you don't, I'll die a horrible death." I mean, you already got freaking set on fire. Barbecue party at Zanzibar land. Just Big Boss set the barbecue party at Brawlhalla. It's just in Fire Emblem, if you die a fire-related death, everyone will make jokes about it. It's great. No, this isn't real. This is not happening. Then blood began to pour from Big Boss's nose and mouth. "Yes, it is painful, Snake." He clenched his eyes shut. "Big Boss!" Snake shouted. "I don't know the codes. They already have them. Baker and Anderson talked. They already have the damn codes." The man behind the mirror screamed bloody murder as his head began to split apart. Veins and goo dribbled out of the cracks in one of the most grotesque displays of fire Snake had ever seen. The operative fell to his knees and shouted, "No! This is not real!" and found himself on the carpeted floor of the commander's room once again. Meryl was still lying beside him, and Psycho Mantis floated in the air a few feet away, laughing. "It was a hallucination, and I broke it." "You are a strong warrior, Snake," Mantis said. "You have a healthy mind and a tough heart." "You like Castlevania, don't you?" I can't do a Russian accent. Mantis said, "You have a healthy mind and tough heart. You resisted my little mind games. Very admirable, but you are still no match for my powers." Before Snake had a chance to recover from the trip, "You mean the drug trip?" Steve just got high for 10 minutes. Or whatever. He just got really high. Don't worry, it's all fine. He just experienced the 3 antique chairs in the room float in the air and then were hurled at him with ferocity. Snake flattened himself to the floor being struck by them. "Psychokinesis," the villain quoted. "The weapon of the gods." The chairs were followed by 2 metal urns. They levitated and then soared at Snake as if they'd been projected from cannons. He managed to dodge one, but the second one grazed his left shoulder and bounced off. The pain was intense, but not nearly as bad as it would have been if it struck full on. An antlered deer head trophy attached to the wall split away from its plaque and zoomed toward Snake. The sharp antler points certainly would do far more damage than the chairs or urns. Without thinking, Snake's hand went to the SOCOM in his holster, and he drew it. He let off 3 rapid succession shots and blew the deer head to bits, knocking it out of the air. I have my gun in hand. It's no longer stuck. Psycho Mantis wasn't laughing anymore. Instead, the villain concentrated on creating illusions that the gun's grip was hot again. This time, though, Snake was able to hold it. And when everything's on fire, they don't give a feck. She's like, everything's on fire. Whatever! Barbecue party at Shadowbones Island! Can you tell what my favorite Fire Emblem meme is? Then disgusting! Disgusting! That's disgusting! You disgust me beyond words. Disgusting! This time, though, Snake was able to hold on to it. It won't work this time, Mantis, Snake said through gritted teeth. He forced himself to clutch the SOCOM no matter what his pain receptors were telling his brain. He lifted the handgun and pointed it at Psycho Mantis, but it suddenly became extremely heavy. Snake held it in 2 hands, but it was as if it gained 500 pounds in weight. He had no choice but to drop it. As Mantis laughed uncontrollably once more, books flew off the shelves at Snake. They bombarded him like stones, forcing him back against the desk. He held his arms over his face to protect himself, and then rolled his body into a ball on the floor. Why had he been able to draw the SOCOM before? The answer to that had to be that Psycho Mantis could only do so many telekinetic tasks at a time. If Snake could keep his adversary busy throwing objects, perhaps he could pick up the gun and get off a shot. With that in mind, Snake abruptly and boldly stirred and ran for the door. One of the leather mask-clad busts careened off the pedestal and soared at Snake to block his path. The operative ducked and immediately turned back toward the desk. The other bust lifted off and joined out its counterpart to become guided missiles, falling Snake around the room. No matter where he went, the marble busts tailed him as Psycho Mantis waited for the perfect opportunity to smash one over Snake's head. The result surely would be death. Do your worst, you circus freak! Snake shouted as he zigzagged through the room. Did they leave a cage in the sideshow and locked? Mantis, don't you mislead him. Learn with the geeks. That's mean! Obviously, Psycho Mantis did not care for taunting. The villain summoned all his potency to unleash every object in the room that wasn't fixed. The busts, the urns, the chairs, the books, even the heavy mahogany desk and comfy sofa. They all lifted in the air, ready to tumble down on Snake. But at the crucial moment when everything was above the ground, Snake performed a forward roll on the floor, picked up the SOCOM in one hand, spun to a crouching position, and fired 2 rounds at Psycho Mantis. The man screamed and dropped to the floor, along with all the objects. Snake was bombarded by dozens of books, but was spared from being hit by the heavy stuff. Both bullets had punctured Mantis's chest. Blood poured from the wounds as the man feebly attempted to crawl to safety. Snake stood with the SOCOM leveled at Mantis's head and said, "Game over, freak!" The man wheezed as he breathed, apparently struggling to take in oxygen. You are powerful indeed, but I know your weak point. Shut up and say your prayers! Meryl, Mantis commanded, stand right where he can see you and blow your brains out. On cue, Meryl shook herself awake, got up from the floor, picked up her Desert Eagle, and held it to her temple. Snake could see she was struggling with the second commands, as she attempted to pull away her gun with her left. The Desert Eagle fired, but Meryl managed to move her head in time. A trickle of blood dribbled down her forehead. The bullet must have scraped her scalp. Shoot yourself, Mantis commanded. Stop, Meryl! Snake fired around into Psycho Mantis' kneecap. The villain screamed in agony. At the same time, Meryl was able to pull the gun away from her face. Snake then dropped the SOCOM, stepped in, grabbed Meryl by the gun arm, and threw her over his shoulder. She dropped the handgun and crashed into the mahogany desk, unconscious once more. Snake picked up his weapon and walked over to where Psycho Mantis lay. The man's breathing was now very shallow and forced. I wasn't able to read your future, Mantis gasped. A strong man doesn't need to read the future. He makes his own, Mantis called. Perhaps, but let me try. Please, remove my mask. Snake didn't think he could hurt. He knelt by the dying man and removed the gas mask. Underneath was a hideously scarred creature with a face that Darth Vader or Frankenstein's monster wouldn't have wanted to possess. To get to the Metal Gear's underground maintenance space, you must go through the hidden door behind the bookcase. Go on! Travel past the communication towers. Use the tower's walkway. Why are you telling me this? I can read people's minds. In my lifetime, I have read the pasts, pheasants, and features of thousands of men and women. Meryl began to stir. Snake glanced over at her to make sure she was all right. After a moment, she stirred, shook her head, and slowly walked over to them. When she saw Mantis's face, she said, "Ew, gross." Well, feel mature, Meryl. Mantis trained to continue. Each mind that I peered into was stuffed with the same single object of obsession, a selfish and atavistic desire to pass on one seed. It was enough to make me sick. Every living thing on this planet exists mindlessly to pass on the DNA. We're designed that way. That's why there's war. But you are different. You're the same as us. You mean gay? I mean, Sniper Wolf is a lesbian, okay? Okay, anyway. We have no past, no future. We live in the moment. That's our only purpose. Humans weren't designed to bring each other happiness. From the moment we're thrown into this world, we're fated to bring each other nothing but pain and misery. Snake and Meryl gave each other a look. The man was as mad as all the inhabitants of an asylum combined. The first person whose mind I read was my father. I saw nothing but disgust and hatred for me. In his heart, my mother died in childbirth and he despised me for it. I thought my father was going to kill me. That's when my future disappeared. I lost my past as well. When I came to the village with engulfed in flames. Are you saying you burned down your village to bury your past? Snake asked. I see that you have suffered the same trauma. Mantis laughed as best he could, but it was a dark, evil laugh. We are truly the same, you and I. The world is a more interesting place with people like you in it. He's insane. Meryl whispered, stating the obvious. I never agreed with the boss's revolution. His dreams of world conquest do not interest me. I just wanted an excuse to kill as many people as I could. You monster! She shouted. Let him talk! Snake snapped. He doesn't have much time left. I've seen true evil. You, Snake, you're just like the boss. No, you're worse. Compared to you, I'm not so bad. Wait. I see you. With the gun. Must be decades from now. You are old. With a gun in your mouth. Mantis glanced at Meryl. I read your feature too. You occupy a large place in her heart. Meryl emitted a small gasp. But I don't know if your futures lie together. I have a request. What? Please, put my mask back on. Snake obliged. The man's breathing was barely audible. Before I die, Mantis coughed. I want to be myself. I want to be left alone in my own world. I will open the door for you. There was a click in the back of one of the bookshelves behind the fallen desk. The entire bookcase slid to the left, revealing a dark passage. Now very weak, Mantis said. This is the first time I've ever used my power to help someone. It's strange. It feels kind of nice. The exhalation of breath was final and absolute. Snake and Meryl stood there for a moment, trying to comprehend what they'd just witnessed. After a moment, she turned to Snake and said, I'm so sorry. What for? How can I let him control my mind like that? No matter how. Try to talk it out, you just can't be done. However you try to talk it out, you just can't beat them. They said, seek to find, feel, circuit, sharp skills, but now we can only feel all the pain and the danger, beat and real. And we have to kill, just stay alive, save, taken away close mates, and we don't know our own fates. We've been tasked to protect and take on ghosts, but now this Black Thursday with the damage, the quick get moved through fast, covers everything. This one's in the profile, so I've got to find a way to win, or we die out. Living left on the run with a hand on the gun. Where's the exit? We can't go back where we came. Oh my god. This is so long. If you're gonna doubt myself, I'll leave you. Doubt yourself, I'll leave you here. Snake answered. She nodded and took a deep breath. You're right. Never doubt yourself. Just let it make you stronger. Learn something from it. You're right. I won't let it happen again. Snake moved toward the open bookcase. Is this the way out? Like you said, was this the way you're gonna show me in this place? Snake, I didn't know anything about this room. Something was telling me to leave you here. It was him. I'm sorry, Snake. Can I ask you something? What? About what he said. About us. What is it now? What's the problem? He sounded annoyed. Oh, nothing. Never mind. Hey, what's your real name? He sighed. Our name means nothing on the battlefield. The only thing that matters is surviving. How old are you? Old enough to know what death looks like. Any family? No, but I was raised by many people. Then she asked softly, almost inaudibly. Is there anyone you like? How? I've never been interested in anyone else's life. So you're all alone, just like Manta said? He stood in the open doorway, his back to her. Other people just complicate my life. I don't like to get involved. You're a sad, lonely man. He was not about to disagree. Come on, let's go. Back at the control room in the Discovery machine. Submarine. Dr. Hunter turned to Campbell and said, It looks like your niece is going to be okay. The brainwashing will wear off, right? The colonel asked her. Yes. But why did Snake go so far out of his way to save her? For your sake, or does he like her? Campbell felt sobered by everything that had just transpired. Naomi, it's true that Snake has killed a lot of people, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a heart. Sorry, Dad. Ugh. Well, that's the end of that. You know. Anyway, if you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!